Hi, I'm Sonali Karnick. This is Our Montreal. Filmmaker Ezra Soiferman has always been fascinated by Montreal winters, and he recently completed a short film that celebrates what some might consider a painful reality of winter, dealing with all the snow. It's called Montréal Snowbec. He joins me to discuss his project. Ezra Soiferman, welcome to Our Montreal.
Hello, Sonali.
Where did the idea for this short film come from?
Well, when I was a kid, I used to hear these rumblings outside the house when I was growing up. And I would run to the front window and I would see these armadas of snow cleaning trucks driving by slowly in front of the house. I would press my face up against the glass and watch pretty much with total delight as they cleared away the street in front of my house. And I said, I want to do that as a job when I grow up. I want to drive one of those little mini tanks that clears the sidewalks. And I always had that as a dream job. I never became a mini tank driver, but I made a movie about it.
Well, you know, I think a lot of kids still run to the window when they hear the sound of all those trucks coming together, getting ready to clear the snow in Montreal. Why did you want to make a short film about that, though?
Well, it's such an important part of Montreal, how we deal with the snow. We deal with it by clearing it away, but we also deal with it by rolling around in it and shoveling it and sweeping it, skating and skiing, doing all these things to involve ourselves with it. And I think to make the most of it so that the winters aren't complete dreariness, but instead there's a way to be active in it and enjoy it. And I wanted to capture that in a movie.
Well, you know, it is a very complicated operation to clear the snow after a snowstorm. We have, we run numerous news stories about, warning people to take their cars off the road and that there are going to be trucks in certain areas. For you, though, what's the most fascinating part of snow clearing operations?
For me personally, it's getting up close and personal with it. I walk the streets of NDG, my neighborhood, and I keep my ears and eyes open for those trucks. And when I'm out on these long walks for exercise and to see the city, and I see those trucks, I approach carefully and I stand across the street or on somebody's lawn, and I take out my camera, my video camera, and I just start shooting and gathering all this footage of this incredible stuff that's happening. One time I was out taking one of these walks, and I saw one of those mini tanks parked. I guess the guy was taking a break, young driver, and I walked over to him and I said, I've always loved these plows, and I have a friend in Kentucky who loves them too, my friend Johnny. Do you think you could do one of those things where you kind of turn around and do those quick U-turns so that I could take a video for him? The guy said, okay. And he went and he did 360s for me. I captured it on film. And then I said, okay, I got to make a movie about this. And I spent 7 years making this film. Every winter I was out there getting footage, and feel like I've captured the essence of the snow cleaning in Montreal.
And, to be fair, you've been working on other projects in between. This was just, every winter you kind of collecting this with a goal in mind at some point, right?
Yes, I'm a pretty self-admitted prolific artist and photographer, filmmaker, try to stay busy all the time. And this was one of the many projects that I had going. And it made me look forward to winters. One time I was standing out on the street filming, and I hear, Ez. I turn around. It's a buddy of mine from NDG. I said, what are you doing out here? And he says, I'm watching the snowplows. I said, I'm doing the same thing. Anyhow, 2 minutes later, he's around the corner, and a big truck comes around the corner, and he says, Ez, get in. This guy wants to take you to the dump to film the dump. So I got inside the snow dump truck, and that's how I got access to the Angrignon dump, the biggest one in Montreal.
That's amazing. And people are so open with you. And it's funny, though, because you've chosen to capture the winter season by relying only on images. There's no narration in this short film. Why did you choose to do it that way?
Well, one of the first things I learned at film school is to show, don't tell. And even though I've made documentaries with plenty of talking and lots of interviews, for this one, I said I want to make a musical documentary, basically to document and to show and to teach and to entertain with the documentary, but no talking. So the film uses the music of So-Called, or Josh Dolgan, who's an old friend of mine and a composer and a hip-hop artist. And I said, Josh, I need music for this snow movie. And he said, well, look, go through my catalog. Anything you like, you can use that. So I found a song and put the images to this music and feel like we told the story in a very visual and engaging and fun way without having to, do all these interviews and stuff that could get boring or tedious when the images can tell thousands of words.
Well, Ezra, we need to get right to that film. I think we've been talking about it enough. So thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Enjoy the movie, everyone. Take care. Happy winter.
Ezra Soiferman is a Montreal-based filmmaker and photographer. Now let's have a look at his film, Montréal, Snowbec.